So I've got a 2010 Acura TSX. They're all pretty similar, even back into the prior, I think, 2012. But a common issue is the fact that all of the hood latches are tied into the alarm system on the vehicle, and over time they get gunked up. You can see how gunked up mine is right there. It's 2023 right now, so the car's about 13 years old, and I've been having a problem where, particularly after storms at night when the car's locked, the alarm will start going off, and I get a notification from my alarm or my camera system outside, and then typically the neighbors start calling saying the alarm's going off. But the process for replacing is pretty simple. I couldn't find any videos on YouTube, so I figured I'd put this one together, even though I'm not great at the YouTube stuff. But I wound up picking up this part here. It's a whole new hinge. I got it off of eBay, and it looks to be pretty much bolt on, bolt off. And I think it was $10 or $12 off of eBay, so nice and simple. But it's only connected with 3 10mm bolts going into those 3 holes right there. And it's super simple to take on and off. You basically I've already taken the front bezel off, but basically this piece of plastic right here that covers the front above the hinge has these little clips in it. You basically take a flathead screwdriver and pull those clips out of all these little holes, keep them somewhere safe. And then once you do that, this piece of plastic just comes right off right there, and then you have access to your hinge and the 3 screws that hold it on. Probably the trickiest part's going to be removing that cable right there and putting it onto the new one. And then of course there is because there's part of the alarm system tied to it, there's a electrical connection right there that you'll have to reconnect, but should be pretty straightforward. And that's the switch right there that kind of gets gunked up and then stops getting a good connection. I've read that you can clean that up and it might work, but you're still going to wind up having to take off the whole entire hinge and then cleaning it up. Spend probably a good hour to get this thing cleaned with a bunch of solvents and stuff. And I figure for $10-12, but by the time you're taking it off, you might as well just replace it for a price like that. But either way, I'm gonna go ahead and loosen those 3 bolts up and then show you what I got from there. All right, so the other thing that I would suggest is there's this kind of plastic shield here that has one more 10mm screw in it right there, bolt I should say, and then you can move that out of the way because this cable runs down under it, and it gives you a little bit easier access, not that hard to pull out. You could also probably pull this little cable retention clip out as well if you had to, but probably not necessary because you can see right there the cable comes in, connects, and then the little ball at the end of the cable hooks right on the other end of this release latch right there. So other than that, pretty straightforward, and I'll show you when it's out. All right, so that's it, and it's out. You can see it's pretty gummed up after 13 years. This car sits outside a lot too, so it's pretty obvious that switch right there is probably not making much of a connection anymore with how greased up it is. And you can see right down here, that cable just connects right up to the latch, and then this here is the wired connection. Real simple, you just pinch this right here and pull it back and it comes right out. So time to get ready to put the new one back in. All right, so super simple. Connect that wire clip back up. You feed the end of the cable with the ball on it right down behind there, super simple. And then just push this white clip right back into the retention spot on the new latch, and it should be ready to bolt right back up. All right, so there it is, back installed. You can see I've got the 3 bolts holding it together, and then I put this one bolt back here that holds that plastic housing in place. One thing I'll say is when you're disassembling it, take this top one out first. It makes it easier to get to the bottom, and then reverse it on the way back in. Put the bottom one in first and then the top one in. And there is a little bit of play in this, so you kind of want to line it up with where it was before and maybe do a test shut on it before you fully tighten everything up and put the that plastic cover back on. But aside from that, that should be good to go. And I've tested mine, and so far the alarm hasn't gone off, but we'll see the next time it storms, because it always seems to be when it storms and when I'm out of town. All right, I hope that helped, and helps the next person get the job done or feel confident to do it. Have a good one.